Well, hi guys. Good afternoon. This is Jay Hughes, and I am excited to introduce a call that I had today with John Badostain regarding the topic of life planning. And as you guys know, in Ignite, we've gone through the topic of business planning, and then most recently we talked about this topic of life planning and why that's important. Why it's important to take some time to bracket out all the distractions that are taking place in our life, and take time to unplug and sit back and think and ponder. Where am I going? Am I on the path that I really need to be on to help me arrive at the destination that I want to get as it relates to my life, my career, my physical health, the relationships with the people that I'm closest to? And so I wanted to visit with John Badostain about this, because I know John has been conducting his own life plan and editing that over the years, as well as business planning. And he was actually really influential in my own life in coaching me and investing in me and talking to me about my own life plan and my own business plan. And so I thought it would be just a real treat for all of us to be able to hear from John and have him share some insights as to why a life plan and a life planning process is important to him. And so I'm really excited to bring this call to you. I would just encourage you to sit back, enjoy, maybe take a couple notes, and I think you'll really enjoy the time that you're going to get to spend listening to John talk about his life planning process. All right, with that, here we go.
Well, thanks, Jay. I appreciate you inviting me to share kind of my story with life planning, and it really had a major impact on my life and actually my career. When I got involved in building champions several years ago, I always focused, a lot of time and energy on my career, and I was always successful in my career, and probably spent more time than I should have in business and neglected a lot of things in personal life. And when I joined the Building Champions program, one of the things that really became evident to me is life plan is an important part of successful business planning as well. And the reason I say that is because when you look at what you do in your personal life and your business life, it all runs together, and you need to pay attention to both to be really successful. And you need to be deliberate about what you do in your personal life. And I realized that, as I got into the program, and I finally understood that in order to be successful in my personal life, I need to plan it, and just like I do with my business life. So I started to really be deliberate about what I do with my wife, what I do with my kids, what I do with my activities, my private activities. And I know it sounds, sometimes like it's overwhelming to plan everything out, but as a business professional, your life is consumed by business, and you work really hard. And I know, most loan officers spend a lot of time, with clients and their business partners, and are on call 24/7. And, that can really consume you. So that's why I realized that to be really successful, I needed to plan everything out, and it worked for me. And I was able to really deepen my relationship. I was able to deepen my relationship with my kids, and schedule it all out like I do everything else in my life. And it was really impactful for me, and really changed my life for the better.
Well, I know one follow-up question to that would be, and I don't know exactly what you do now. I know that location, kind of unplugging and getting away is something that has always worked really well for me in a life plan. And I kind of tried to model that after you sharing a story with me. Used to go to Portland, so I just thought maybe you could talk about that, like what that process looked like for you to unplug, to get away, maybe what that location is like, and how that seemed to kind of feed you and give you energy as you were working through your business planning and life planning process.
Yeah, that really is an important part of the process. And what I did is I really unplugged for a week, and well, it was 4 days actually, but I unplugged from business and from personal as well, and I went off by myself to really develop my life plan for the year, to check on what I've done and where I'm going, and really kind of adapt and change and maybe tweak my life plan a little bit, and then plan my business plan for the following year, what I was going to do. And it really helps because it clears your mind and your focus is just on developing the plan. And when you do it in your office or you do it at your home, there's tons of interruptions, and you're always on the phone, you're always on your devices, you always get interrupted. And when you unplug and you go, I almost call it like a business vacation, but when you unplug and you go away to really focus on a life plan and a business plan, you're really surprised how much in depth you get. And I always do morning journaling and those type of things, but it really helps you clear your mind and think forward and be detached from all the things you normally do day in and day out.
Yeah, no doubt. So a follow-up question, last question for you, and then we'll end this. But I know there's going to be people listening to this call, and they're thinking, a week? Like 4 days? Like, that seems impossible. And I'm sure that there are loan officers thinking, like, John must not know how busy I am, and yet they know. I mean, they know how busy you are. You're incredibly busy. And so maybe just speak to it for a moment and wrap this up for us, for the loan officers listening to the call today. The thought, like, how would you encourage and exhort them to take some time? Maybe it's not 4 days, but maybe it's a day, to unplug and the benefits they might expect to get as it practically relates to their production 3 months from now or 6 months from now or a year from now.
Well, Jay, I think with the loan officers, and I do think, our successful loan officers are extremely busy, and they get hit from every angle, from their business partners, from clients and regulators. There's a lot that goes on today to be a loan officer, and I get going away and doing life planning might not seem important, and just doing a business plan probably doesn't seem important because most people, loan officers, they're successful because they work hard and they really pay attention to their business and they're students of their business. But going away and doing a life plan, detaching from everything, is necessary because it really gives you a chance to clear your mind. Look at what your relationship looks like. What do you want your relationship to look like with all your family, friends? What do you want it to be? And you got to plan it. You got to plan the time for it, because if you're not deliberate about things, sometimes life just slips by and time just slips away. And with your business life, I think it's critical to do a business plan because it keeps you on track. It keeps you focused on where you want to go. And it's a good time to really evaluate where you've been and where you want to go and make tweaks to your life. And if you're not deliberate about it and you don't really plan it out, it just doesn't happen. You'll just continue doing the same thing, and sometimes by chance opportunities present themselves. But if you're deliberate about it, those opportunities come around a lot quicker, and you're really, I feel, more apt to go the direction you need to go just because you're planning that business plan.
Yeah. So good, and I love, you've emphasized a couple times that word of being deliberate, and I think that we'll kind of focus on that as we're closing out. Like, for loan officers that are listening today, we want to encourage you to be deliberate with your time, to be proactive, and one of the pieces of that is to complete your life plan and really begin to map out the direction both for your personal life and for your career. And I know John and I both feel like it'll have a massive practical application in your career and your production. So John, thanks so much for taking the time to share today. And I know you took time out of your busy schedule to make this happen, and we actually made a plan to make it happen. And so thank you for sharing and investing in the loan officers today.
Well, thanks, Jay. It was my pleasure to spend some time with you.